Hello, 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 everyone. Happy Monday. How's everybody doing? Hopefully, is doing great. We have Kara with us. So, welcome and Happy New Year, Kara.
Happy New Year. It's 2025. I legitimately the other day was writing dates and I wrote 1999. I was like, whoa, did we just time jump? Hmm. Friends don't
Remember
tell
in the good
friends.
old times?
Yeah, that 1950 is closer than 19.
So, couple things. With a new year, there comes a lot of resolutions, a lot of things that we want to achieve, or maybe keep working on the ones that we weren't able to finish achieving the prior year. So, Kara, do you have any things that you were working last year that you have moved on to this year so you can keep working on the goal?
Oh, almost all of my goals. So one of the things that I know about me is that while I absolutely adore like little dopamine deliveries where I get to like check the box and the task is done things, I only really enjoy those if they're in alignment with like a long-term goal. That's kind of just how everything that I do works. But this year, 2025 is one of the intentional change years for one of my long term goals. So we've been doing the Wham Bam, the Wilson Adventure Mobile, and we soft launched last year. We are launching this March as part of our training start. But we have decided that we are going to push back our physical move to late spring and go do a fall internship, which we're really excited about because my husband's going to take on the certifications for it, which has been wonderful. So it's not so much that we've pushed any of the changes, it's that this is when the changes happen. And now there's the ones you imagine will happen and then what actually ends up happening.
Yes, because it's one thing what you plan and another thing when it happens, and then how it happens. Those are completely three different stories.
Yeah, yeah. I That's so funny that you said that. I literally right before we got on here, I was scrolling through the Facebooks doing the doom scroll thing, right? And it popped up a memory for me, which was a note that I had written myself back in I think it was like 19 or 20, sorry, 2019, on the top of my calendar, and said that was not the plan, but plans change. So adventures come with gains and losses.
Oh yes, and that's the beauty of life. We have the opportunities to make anything happen. And when I say anything happen, also comes with a choice. And that choice comes with decisions. Like for example, in my case, I decided that I'm gonna go back to school and get my certifications. So that's gonna be my goal. That's why today's topic is so like happening to me because today is gonna be our last live, like a scheduled live, and it's like oh my God, we've been together for what almost 2 years, if not a little longer, and but it's amazing to hear because before talking here with all of you guys, I was talking to Karen. She was telling me about this great adventure they're jumping with her family and her husband taking new certifications, doing different things. But what I'm saying different than what they do on the daily basis. But the most important thing and the one thing that I want to leave you guys is that we're not stopping from the goal. What was the sentence that you put it together? Because I said I'm not stopping. I'm just making a quick pause. But you,
I said it's not a stop, it's just an innovation. It is a different path towards the same goal. Yeah. It is really it's the difference between being committed and it versus attached. Right? Like if I'm attached, we've talked about this so many times. I'll go back and watch so many of our things. But it's the same story in another form, right? Is that we get so attached to like this is how this has to happen. If I'm going to be successful, I'm going to have 2.5 kids and a cat and a dog and three goldfish, and I'm going to have two cars, and one of them has to be a recreational vehicle, and because there's all these markers that I have to have. Or you commit to being happy with a family and comfortable in your lifestyle. And that might look like that, but it might look completely different
Hmm.
because you're committed.
Go ahead, go ahead.
You're committed to a goal, not the steps of the goal, the process.
Yes, and that brings me to my next point, what I've always, again, have said, which is please have fun while you're doing this. You know, we don't become entrepreneurs, we don't become the people that we have become. And I say entrepreneurs because it's just a label that we have, but we don't become the people that we are by not enjoying life. What makes us different, what has made the Learn community and everybody that has been around me is that all of us are always looking to grow and while growing have fun. And that brings me to a little story that I read the other day that there was two a mother and a daughter that sat down together. The daughter was about to get married and tells the mom, "Mom, if you could give me one piece of advice for my life, what would it be?" And she goes, "Well, remember when you were little and I was working two and sometimes three jobs just so you can have those extra classes and all those extra things?" And yes, and she goes, "Yes, yeah, I remember." And how about if you remember when we finally bought our first house with your father? You remember that? You remember all the crazy things that we had to do because we had no furniture and we had to do all these things so we can get everything ready? And she's like, "Yeah, yeah, I remember." And you remember that when I finally retired from my job, I said I was gonna go ahead and move to a place near the beach. And like maybe 1 or 2 years ago, I did it. She was like, "Yes, but where's the advice?" Like, so she goes like, "Here's the advice. During my whole life, I kept saying, when I obtain this or I get that or I do this or I do that, I'll be happy." And turns out that now that I don't have none of those responsibilities and I actually enjoy life, now I am happy. And turns out that I didn't need the house, I didn't need all the extra things. Turns out that I needed to be present. So while we do things, be present. Do it because you're passionate, because you love it, and because you love everybody that is around you. That is one of the stories that I read this week, and I really, really loved it. So tell me a little bit about the One Pam. That's how you call the
Yeah, the Wham Fam. Wilson Adventure Mobile. Wham Fam. Yeah, we're really excited. So we have had this long-term goal of building an eco village and a whole city and university. Right, I've talked about this before. My eco village and my university that I'm going to create because I have crazy, hairy, audacious goals. And about a decade ago, we realized, okay, if that's the direction that we're going to need, there's going to be some foundational things that we need. There's going to be some finances that we need, some basic understandings that we need. We're going to have to understand how business are structured. We're going to have a business that we can go and travel with. And somewhere in the middle of creating all of that, we also want to make sure that we birth a human. So about the time they're 5, and potty trained, we're ready to start going and getting some practical hands-on knowledge. All of that lined up exactly the way we anticipated, like almost to the letter. The only weird flummox there was we got our trailer 2 years earlier than anticipated because the house caught fire. Not bad, just a shift because life, right? Like,
Yep.
Didn't change the goal. It just meant we had to find a different way to get there. and then and life loves to throw curveballs like houses catching on fire at you. That's what my understanding of life is. Its entire job is to life all over you and all over your plans. And your job is to figure out how to life back, like how to take care of you so you can take care of life. And in doing that, we have the child, and he is potty trained, and we have a business that is running and successful and can travel with us. And it's time for the next step, which is going and learning practically hands-on at eco villages that are currently in existence, so that we can find out what's working well and leverage that to make all of our own new mistakes and build our own space.
Yes. And I was gonna say, hopefully we have one eco village on the side, somewhere in the state of Florida.
Yes, our the closest we come for certain, we are in connection with several eco villages. The two that we have lined up is Lost Valley, Oregon, and then there is the Emergent Hub, which is in North Carolina, uh, and it's going to
Okay.
be a business hub. So there will be. It's going to be a fun. Um, what if community did business better?
Hmm.
Which
I like
really
that.
aligns with all of my social business stuff, right? Where profit is foundation instead of aspiration. Because it's simpler. I asked AI to create a business model if the business model was a capital model built to sustain community. And it did the same thing. It was like, well, first you have to set the foundation of profit. And then from that point on, it's all about making sure that people are happy and that the community is happy and that the product is better every time. I was like, thanks for confirmation, AI. I appreciate you.
AI, you're so smart.
Love
You
that.
know, smart people think alike. AI. Mouse bomb. That's awesome. I cannot wait to see all the adventures that you guys are gonna go on, and I'm pretty sure that you may have thought about opening a GoFundMe and also things so people can connect and help.
Mhm.
So we'll be on the lookout. Just because we're not gonna do this every single time doesn't mean that we're not gonna do it anymore.
Yeah.
It just means that we're gonna do it sporadically.
Yes.
Yes. So I would love to see how we can help you and how we can keep promoting everything that you do
Oh yeah.
because
When we launch the community, we'll have to have one of these get together so I can tell you all about and just brag about the community we're creating. There will be a community. People will be able to follow along. It's going to be fun. Yep. We're going to have videos. We're going to have weekly. My husband and I do this. We call it the shelf of hurt feelings, where I
okay.
put all of my leadership development books go up there, right? Crucial Conversations and Leaders that are Heroes and the Muhammad Yunus saving ending poverty through capitalism, like all the books are up on there, right? And we grab a book at random and we open it to a page at random and we read a paragraph at random and get our feelings hurt together.
You know what? That is that is so crucial for people that are learning leadership. It is understanding that some of the truths that these books or these other leaders point at you, they may hurt, but they will help you grow so much as long as you learn from that situation. And I wouldn't call it a mistake, just I would call it like a learning opportunity because if you're conscious about it, you're not perfect. And you can only do as far as your knowledge allows you to do things. So you're bound to make mistakes. As leaders grow and develop, we have to get our feelings hurt. It's impossible for you to find a great leader that at one point or another has not been disappointed, has not felt betrayed, has not felt left behind. And all these things is happen because as you grow, there's not that many people at that level. And the few that you find, iron sharpens iron, they're not gonna sugarcoat things. But believe me, most of the leaders, they do it because they love you and they want to see you grow. They wouldn't do it to hurt you. So every time we get some new goals in our lives, embrace them, jump, you know, grab them really hard and jump that bridge, and then figure out how you open the parachute. Because believe me, the parachute will be there. You just have to trust that everything will be there. I mean, just do a little research before. Just make sure that you know how to land, regardless. But understand that you have some knowledge. It's not exactly as crazy as I'm making it sound that it's that easy. It's not easy.
One of the great things about AI right now and what has been going on is, not a lot in the world unifies humanity at this point in time, right? We see way more divisiveness thrown about on television. But one thing has absolutely unified everybody, which is we have experienced perfection, right? We have AI that can create these perfect things. And across the board, the more perfect it gets, the more people are like, oh, wow, that feels inhuman. Kind of creepy. Actually, it's a little weird. We don't actually, perfect's kind of gross. So we're currently at an age where we've experienced perfection and it has taught us that's creepy and to err is human and that's beautiful. So lean into it. Like actually give yourself permission to make errors, to have problems, to let things get messy. And when things are so messy that you can't see the way out, just take a breath. Because this too shall pass. And often when you set things down in the middle of a mess, you see which part was the mess that you made because you just needed to have things be messy because you're a human being and congratulations, you did it correctly, versus what was actually the situation at hand. And it allows you to learn from the uncomfortableness.
Yes, and that helps you help other people, which is at the end of the day what we want.
Leadership
I
101.
mean, we really want to pass that torch to the next generation and the next generation because life is so beautiful not to help each other and push each other to be better. And one of the things that really has always been in my head is from the first time that Kara said that you gotta find the people that wear, that freak flag on all the time and they're your kind of people. And that's what Kara has been to me all these years. So because of Kara, I've been able to experience that there's a lot of people that are so good in nature that are always there to help you push forward. So, Kara, thank you very much for being this amazing human being you are, and for confronting me whenever we had differences.
That was the best part. You're welcome. I'm amazing. Also, so are you. And that's why it works so well. And because it is that, I get it. Challenge can be uncomfortable because it immediately makes you feel like one person has to be right and the other has to be wrong. But typically, it's just more like one person has this perspective and the other has another. And when you decide that, then you can find out where reality lives. And I like controversy.
Oh yeah, we like controversy and we like gossip. That's a thing that in humans
Right.
it's impossible not to like.
Yeah, right. TMI is tell me immediately. Yes, I absolutely want to know the thing that I'm probably not supposed to know. Yes, I'm here for it.
And that's exactly why
Yes.
I tell my girlfriend there's a her surprise. So she's always asking me about the surprise. Oh, that is one of the things that humans we do so good. We want to know what we shouldn't. So, with that said, I just want to thank everybody that has helped us, that has viewed us, pushed our way, and also want to let you know that this is not over. Like I said, this is just a brief pause and a realignment until we get everything back in line, and we'll be back because we're not stopping this. This is one of our goals, our visions with Kara, and we want to see a community of people empowering each other and learning and growing. So I'm pretty sure she's not going to stop, and I'm not going to stop either. So you will hear us a long time. Kara, anything that you would like to add?
This has been wonderful run, and we'll see you when we have a crazy, exciting, fun things to tell you. Keep moving forward.
Alrighty. Bye, everyone. See you all soon, hopefully.